bring in the Hall of Famer, Football Night in America analyst Tony Dungy. Tony, what happened to the Steelers as of late?
Well, I thought it could possibly happen 4 or 5 weeks ago. I think they lost their identity a little bit. They're winning games, not winning them in Steelers style, and I think it's caught up with them. But Dan, it's so reminiscent to me of our team in Indianapolis in 2006. We were 9-0, off to a great start. We're winning games close, but finding ways to win. And then we hit a stretch in November and December where we really struggled. And in fact, in December, we lost the game to Jacksonville 44-17. Fell from the number 1 seed all the way to number 3. Everybody said the season was over. 6 weeks later, we're hoisting the Super Bowl trophy. We were able to get it corrected. But these guys, they're going to have to start running the football. They're going to have to get some confidence in their offensive line where they can throw some deep balls. I think people have caught up to this 5 and 6 yard passing game, and they're going to have to do something different on offense. I think it starts with getting that identity. Hey, we're the Steelers. We got to be able to run the ball in December.
Well, that's what stood out more than anything else. The Bengals were more physical than the Steelers were last night. And I never thought that I would see that. I mean, this is a Bengal defense. I mean, we really don't know the Bengals. Steelers got household names, and it didn't matter last night. The Bengals were far more the aggressor.
Bengals could not or would not throw the ball or felt like they didn't have to. They threw for about 80 yards. They're controlling the game, controlling the line of scrimmage, and then defensively the same way. They just, hey, we're going to rush the passer. We're going to sit down and play tight coverage. We don't think you're going to run. We don't think you're going to throw deep. So it's, can you get these balls off before our pressure gets there? And can your guys get open in a 5 or 6 yard space? And it was too difficult.
Okay, but what's Mike Tomlin do? Like, is there something, it's not magical. Like, what do? You got 2 games left against the Colts and the Browns, and then you go into the playoffs.
Well, you can get it back. Well, I'll tell you what I did in 2006. I said, we aren't making any changes. We aren't bringing in any new people. There's no saviors. What we're going to do is get back to basics. We're going to cut down on our defenses. We're going to cut down on our offensive plays. But we were able to practice back then. You could put pads on and you could practice tackling. You could practice blocking. I'm not sure they can do that now. And that's part of the problem.
Ben says he's coming back next year. Is that good for the Steelers?
I think it depends on the way this season ends up. If he plays like they played at the beginning of the year, and Ben can be very, very good. At the beginning of the year, they're balanced, and James Conner's running the ball, and they're hitting deep shots to Chase Claypool, and everybody's saying Ben's back. Well, somehow that's been gone. They've lost the confidence that they can run the ball. And for some reason, I think maybe it's because of the pass protection. It was not very good last night off both edges. And maybe he's feeling like, I can't sit in the pocket and wait on these deep balls. So they've just become very limited on offense right now.
But also, if you're looking at this defense, you lose Bud Dupree, you lose Bush. I mean, these are 2 really, really good players. So you can't win games with just your defense.
You are not the same defense. And I know Mike Tomlin's not going to make excuses. I wouldn't make excuses as a coach, but you take out basically 4 of your best playmakers at linebacker. You take out Bush, who was a tremendous player, and then his replacement, help me with the Spillane, comes in, and we don't even know him, and he plays good ball. And now he's out, and they've got a backup safety man playing there, and he gets hurt last night. Bud Dupree, your second best pass rusher, you had that double-edged effect, and now you don't have it coming off the other side. So they're missing some elements that make the Steelers' defense. I can understand their defense. Their offense has to step it up and say, you know what, we are missing those guys. We've got to score more. We've got to control the ball. We've got to run it and control the clock, and that's not what they're doing right now.
He's Tony Dungy, the Hall of Famer, of course, analyst for Football Night America. All right, let's look at all of these teams in the AFC, because the AFC is stacked. Once we get to the playoffs, everybody's got a flaw here. But let me start with Kansas City. I mentioned a stat that they really allow you to stay in games here, and that's going to come back and haunt them. I look at these last wins, Tony, their last 6, 2 points, 4, 3, 6, 6, 3. Come playoff time, they may not get that lucky.
Dan, I am worried about the Chiefs. I really am. I think they're bored. I think they're playing with fire. I think they feel like they can do whatever they want to do. You look at that game Sunday, and you're never going to see Drew Brees play as badly as he played. They had the ball for 40 minutes. They outgained them by 200 yards. New Orleans has a ton of penalties that keep things going. Just their best pass rusher gets kicked out of the game. All these things, and then it's a 3-point game at the end, and they've got to make a play to win the game. Le'Veon Bell's got to make a run to run the clock out. That game should have been a 3-score game. And we've seen it over and over and over again. And they always, on that last drive when they need it, they turn it on, they make a play. But in the playoffs, one game knockout, all of a sudden that ball gets tipped on third down, or, something happens. I just think they're playing with fire.
And then you start to look at these other teams. The team that would have the best chance to knock off Kansas City, because you're going to have to go to Kansas City to knock them off. So who would have the best chance, in your opinion, in the AFC?
Well, forget about defense, because the Saints played the best you can play. They harassed Mahomes, and they got 32 points. So if you're going to knock them off, you have to score points. So who can go in there, play a semblance of defense, rush the passer with 4 guys, but move the ball and score points? Tennessee can move the ball and score points, and that ground game could be effective. I don't know if they have the defensive personnel to really hold them down. Maybe Buffalo has the best chance that they're scoring and Josh Allen's playing great. Maybe they can match them with big plays and just get enough of a pass rush to do it. But Kansas City went into Buffalo and dominated that game running the football early in the year. So I'm not sure. Will Kansas City play up to their standard? If they play up to their standard for 2 games, I don't think anyone can beat them.
Yeah, I was wondering about the Titans, because you got Derrick Henry. And, can he keep his defense off the field long enough so they're fresh every time they go on there against Patrick Mahomes? I like the Colts. I think the Colts are a really balanced team. I just don't know about Phillip Rivers in a big moment, Tony.
Well, the Colts would have a chance too, because they can move the ball. They've got a good offensive line. They could protect Rivers enough. They can hit some deep shots. Kansas City is going to give you a chance on some deep balls, because they're going to play bump and run. They're going to blitz you. T.Y. Hilton, Pascal, those guys have a chance to make some big plays. They can rush the passer. If Justin Houston and DeForest Buckner could pressure without blitzing, now you make a couple of plays. You could hang in there in a high-scoring game. They would have an opportunity, I think.
Let's look at the NFC. Feels like everybody's flawed here. Green Bay looks like they're going to have home field advantage here, but a run defense concerns me here, Tone. I don't know.
That run defense is going to get tested this week, too.
Yes, it is. They're going to get a good idea of how good they are against Derrick Henry.
Will really be interesting, because it's strength against weakness. The Titans do not really have a great secondary. They don't rush the passer well. That is, terminal against Aaron Rodgers. But their Achilles heel, Green Bay, is run defense. And Derrick Henry is going to pound it up inside and keep those pass rushes at bay. I think we could see a real entertaining, high-scoring game. But Green Bay, in that weather, they get the cold weather. What team can go up there really? Tampa Bay, are they going to go up there and light it up in cold weather? I doubt it.
But even like Seattle, I could see them with Russell Wilson and traveling and pulling off an upset there. I don't know about the Rams. I am every time I think I understand the Rams, they surprise me here.
I was touting them as the best team in football 3 weeks ago. I thought their defense was coming around. They can pressure the passer. They played physical, and then that run game just kept really Jared Goff in good situations where he was throwing outside the pocket to open receivers. But when you take that run away and you make them really push the ball down the field, they struggle. And then, the Jets game just did not look good on any front. So if you're capable of playing a game like that when you're fighting for home field advantage, that was disappointing.
How many stockings do you have behind you, Tone?
That is actually, that should be 12. 2 for Lauren and I and all the kids. Yeah.
You didn't even know.
I had to recount.
You have 12 stockings back there. So you and your wife, and then
12 days of Christmas. Yeah, and 10 kids.
Oh, my gosh. Do you ever forget anybody's name?
I do. I was thinking about that as I went. Dad asked me everybody, can I get them all? And I could get them all. Don't know if I could get them in order, but I could get them all.
Kevin Green passing away at the age of 58. You know, that seems like the last generation of those that just played football and they weren't worried about their health. I don't know, what Kevin died of, but at age 58, and he was one of the great pass rushers, there was almost a WWE feel. He was a wrestler out there. He embraced it. The hair, he didn't mind being a bad guy. He was entertaining. What comes to mind when I say Kevin Green?
Oh, just a warrior. And that one really hurts, Dan. We all went in the 2016 class. And when you go in as a Hall of Fame class, you become close. You're like brothers and you stay in touch with each other. And to have one of our classmates pass away, it really, really, it hit hard. Yeah.
Good to talk to you. And Merry Christmas. Hopefully it's great. How young is your youngest?
5.
Oh, okay. Gosh.
So we're still opening Christmas presents and going through that. Yeah. Our oldest daughter's 35 now. So we've got a nice 30-year spread.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable. There's a special place in heaven for you, Tone. I would say,
well, I'll tell you what.
Keep the seat warm for me, but I don't know if I'll join you. But,
Well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about how to get you up there.
Thank you.
I love the outfits. I love the set. Tell those guys they did a great job with the set.
Thank you, buddy. Merry Christmas. Thank you again.
All right. Thanks, DP. Great to talk to you.
Tony Dungy, Hall of Famer. Hall of Fame dad as well.